I heard you're gonna have a baby.
Excuse me? My mother-in-law out of the blue? I don't understand. I'm busy. Can we discuss this later? I'm sorry.
Don't try to fool me. You're pregnant. And what's the sex? Boy or girl? A girl? Of course it's a boy, right?
Well, I'm not pregnant. You must be mistaken.
Huh? Of course I'm not. I saw you almost throwing up from morning sickness.
Morning sickness?
I mean, when you came to my house the other day. Come on, tell me the sex of the baby. It's going to be a fine boy who will be our heir, isn't it?
No, I'm not pregnant.
You're lying.
When you said I was about to throw up, I think you were talking about me being car sick.
Huh? Car sick?
The smell of the new car we bought last month was too strong. I've always been prone to car sickness. I don't have a driver's license, so Tucker drives when we visit you. As a passenger, I can't avoid getting car sick. The last time I visited your house, it was particularly bad. I'm sorry you had to see that. I don't have morning sickness.
That excuse won't work. Car sick? I mean, you can take care of that with motion sickness pills. What's the sex? It had better be a boy.
I am really not pregnant, and I'm allergic to motion sickness medicine.
I see. If you won't admit you're pregnant, then it's a girl.
Huh?
Well, I thought it might be. After all, I heard that your family is mostly girls. I was expecting something like this. My family needs an heir to run the company, and yet it's a girl. Why did you marry into our family? What's the point of having a wife who can't produce an heir? I should have opposed the marriage more strongly.
Mom?
Divorce then.
Divorce? Why are you going there?
Of course. I don't want a daughter-in-law who can't give birth to a boy. If you still want to have a baby, you can raise it on your own.
That's enough.
Hey, Mom? Oh, Tucker, just in time. Hey, listen to me. Maggie tried to hide the fact that your baby is a girl. She even lied about not being pregnant. She was going to push through the lie and have the baby. She's really mean. You should divorce a girl like that, Tucker. Hold on. The conversation is jumping all over the place. No, it isn't. Oh, I know. How about that classy-looking young lady you dated when you were in college for your next wife? I mean, all of her siblings are boys, right? I'm sure she'll give you a boy. I think that girl's more suitable for you as a wife than Maggie. She's already married. Oh, really? That's too bad. But you know, even if you can't find another partner, you should divorce Maggie for now. It'll be a nuisance once the baby girl is born. So why don't you get divorced now? Don't worry, I'll come to your rescue. I'll find you a bride who can give birth to a boy. Hey, Mom. I was next to Maggie when you two were texting. Oh, really? Then Maggie's lie has already been exposed. Then I guess it's a divorce, right? I'll have to get the divorce papers from the city office tomorrow. The sooner the better, as they say. Maggie really isn't pregnant. What? I hate it. Are you lying too? Are you protecting Maggie? You can tell your mother the truth, Tucker. It is the truth. Maggie and I have said nothing but the truth. We're planning to schedule it a little further down the road for reasons of our own. And the car sickness is true too. What do you mean? Maggie takes hay fever medicine this time of the year. Hay fever? That's why she can't take motion sickness medicine. They don't mix well. And by the way, the medication thing is connected to the pregnancy thing. You know that taking medication during pregnancy is a no-no, right? Yes, of course I know that, but... I told Maggie that taking medicine is not good for the baby. So we're going to start trying to conceive after the hay fever season. Maggie and I have discussed this beforehand. Oh, you did? Well, if that's the case, I'll let bygones be bygones this time. But you're the only one that's off the hook. Huh? It's Maggie's fault for being so confusing. Tell her she needs to apologize to me. Oh, is that so? You really haven't learned your lesson, have you, Mom? What are you talking about? Do you think I don't know what you've been doing to Maggie? Huh? What have I done? Oh, come on, Tucker. Are you mad at me? Calling Maggie over to your house and making her do housework. You show up unannounced, then stay for hours. And this is during working hours, right? How would anybody not be angry about that? Well, you know what? Mom, you're an employee of Dad's company, so you should be working. I am. Oh, really? In recent years, you've been working remotely for Dad's company, and you've been trying to make Maggie do your work. I heard that you came all the way to our house with a laptop computer. That's because she's a housewife with a lot of free time. Isn't it natural for her to help her family with their work? Maggie doesn't work for a company, but she's a home worker, so she just stays at home. To begin with, what you were trying to do would result in leaking confidential information outside the company. Huh? Leaking information? It's not like that. That's what happens when you try to get an outsider to do a job that's confidential to the company. Maggie realized that possibility. Thanks to the fact that she didn't touch her computer at all, it didn't become a big problem. Even after that was explained to you, you cursed. You can't even do this kind of work, you useless person. Because it's not that difficult a job. I'm not talking about easy or difficult. Confidentiality. What is the president's wife doing taking the initiative? But that's not all. I can't let Maggie close to you any longer. It's a situation my father's company can't afford to neglect. And more importantly, if Maggie really gets pregnant, it'll be a big problem if it's a girl. We'll raise a boy or a girl equally. If there's an evil person like you around, it will have a bad influence on the child's development. Well, what a thing to say to your mother. It's a shame that someone like you is my mother. We're moving out. What about your job? A friend of mine has offered me a job at his company. I'm going to quit my dad's company and get a new job there. You can't do that. You're the heir to your father's company. That hasn't been decided yet. Heir to the company, that's all you can say. But I've already decided. Tucker! Maggie, it's been a while. What? Mom? Oh, you haven't blocked me. Good. Then listen to me. I haven't blocked you because I didn't know what you might do, so I wanted to keep an eye on you. I have nothing to say to you. Excuse me. Even if I say I found your house? Huh? You're ready to listen to me now, aren't you? Very well. You're only my son's wife, so you better not test me. Is it true that you tracked down our house? We never told you where we moved to, and I thought you'd never find us. Don't be silly. There are no absolutes in this world. My friend was on vacation and happened to see you pregnant. She made sure to get your address and contacted me. Oh no. I've had a really hard time since then. No, I got fired from my job. I was living at home with my brother and his family, but I was so ashamed of myself. That's got nothing to do with me. No, it very much does. I heard that my grandchild, who will be born sometime around next month, is a boy. Yeah, so? The friend I mentioned earlier overheard your conversation with your neighbor. She said that you told her it was a boy and that you were almost due.
Eavesdropping.
That's why I'm moving in with you until the baby is born. I'll move in with you this week.
Huh? Oh, please, stop it.
Well, I'll leave as soon as the baby is born. But as for my grandson, after he is born, I will raise him.
What are you talking about?
That's my question. Do you have any idea how hard it was for me to be completely ousted with no discussion? If I bring home the grandson, the heir to his company, I'm sure my husband will want to remarry me. So, your grandson is mine. If you are willing to apologize for all the hardships I have gone through, it should be easy for you to give him to me. It is the duty of a daughter-in-law to listen to her mother-in-law.
Daughter-in-law? Mother-in-law?
This is a decision that's been made. I thought you'd been a little remorseful over the past 3 years. Are you still trying to defy me?
Do you know what insulation means?
Huh? Mom, you don't seem to have changed at all. After 3 years, I thought you'd have changed your way of thinking, reflected a little. It really is a shame. Well, Tucker, I get a text from you. I saw your messages with Maggie. I was next to her. What? What about work? Me? I work remotely these days. I'm at home. I heard you tracked down our place. This is a security condo. You'll end up stranded in front of the building. Then, if I told the manager that I'm your mother, he would let me in. But the manager is very good about that. I already called him when you were texting with Maggie earlier and told him to turn you away if you come. Oh no! I told him that if you persisted, he could call the police. Of course, there is 24-hour superintendent here, so of course you can't just break in. That's terrible! How can you disrespect your own mother? That's coming from someone who disrespected her own son's wife. Just give me my grandchild. The child that will be born is the heir to your father's company. You don't know? My cousin Ritzy is now the president of Dad's company. What? That was a year ago. Dad divorced you, so it's no wonder you didn't know about it. Rich? My brother-in-law's daughter? From your point of view, she's your ex-niece. That girl is the president? Ritzy, she's really talented. I think she was more trusted by my father than I was. That's why I was able to leave the company without any worries. A woman? The president? What was your father thinking? A company like that would be the laughingstock of the world. Nowadays, it's not unusual for a woman to be the president of a company. Even you used to work for the company. So why such an anachronistic idea? People who haven't updated their old values are the ones who will be laughed at now. But, because... If you're just going to hem and haw, then go away. But you see, if I take my grandson to your father, I can help you and your father get together. That way, I can be with your father too. Me and Maggie were not insulated from Dad. What? Why not? Why? Because we don't have to. We just wanted to get rid of our insane family. The only person we're cutting off is you. Oh no! Well, I guess I better get going. I still have work to do. Wait! Bye. Don't call me again.
In the end, it was only my mother-in-law who was obsessed with the idea of a male heir and male grandchild. And even though it is no exaggeration to say that she lost something important due to her hardened ideas, she still didn't understand that, and she had come to this point. After that, my mother-in-law came to the bottom of our building and was hanging around. When the policeman questioned her about her activities, she left. Then, without learning her lesson, she asked my father-in-law to reinstate the relationship. But my father-in-law dropped a bomb. He told her that he was dating a single woman of the same age whom he met at a poetry club he started after he retired. When he told my mother-in-law that he was going to get married soon, she went on a rampage, crying and screaming. As a result of being involved with the police, she had been ousted from her brother's family as well. I wonder how my anachronistic mother-in-law will live alone from now on. Well, it is none of our business.
It's almost boarding time. Get back here as soon as you can, so you won't be late. Come on. Aren't you taking too long? Answer me.
You know what?
Oh, good. Is the bathroom crowded? Are you sick?
No, I'm not sick.
Well, that's good to know, but just make sure you're back here in time for boarding. Dad and Mom are also worried, you know. Mom is wondering, is the bride a bit nervous? She's really concerned, so get back right away. By the way, there's a restroom on the plane too. How about using it later?
I've been thinking about it. I'm not going on this trip after all.
Huh? What are you talking about? You were looking forward to Mexico. What's wrong with you all of a sudden?
It's not anything in particular. This isn't just a trip, okay? It's our honeymoon. Why are your mother and father here?
Because they wanted to go on a trip too. So I thought it would be okay if they came along too. It's killing two birds with one stone, so it's all good.
It's all bad. There's no way I'm going on a honeymoon with your parents. And you didn't even tell me about it, like you were tricking me.
Don't say stuff like I'm tricking you. I just forgot to tell you.
It's gotta be a lie. You knew I'd object if you told me beforehand, so you didn't tell me on purpose.
But it's more fun when there's more people on the trip, right?
I know I keep saying this, but it's our honeymoon. It's usually just two people, right? How would you feel if I brought my parents?
It's fun to have a big group. We'd get to know each other better. What? You wanted to bring your parents too? Then why didn't you just bring them? I would be more than happy to have them. My parents would love to have them too.
It's not that I'm not getting through to you. It's just that you have a different sense of what's normal. I would have to be concerned about your parents the whole trip, you know? They're your parents, so maybe it's fine for you. I don't want to go on that kind of stressful trip.
You don't have to care. My parents don't care about that. We're going to be a family now. It's like a real family.
You don't have to worry about it. I do. This isn't a honeymoon.
You don't like my parents that much? What did they do to you?
Well, if you insist, I hate that you brought them without consulting me.
I feel bad that I forgot to tell you, but we have separate seats on the plane and a separate hotel room. I heard that they are going to have fun on their own, so why not?
Do your parents speak Spanish? I hear Mexico has a lot of places where you can speak English, but who's going to help with all the details?
That's the part where we help each other, right? We're a family. If we need help, we'll help each other. You speak Spanish, so helping my parents is no big deal. It's not gonna take anything away from you. Don't be so nitpicky.
Then we're not going to be completely separate. I was supposed to provide all that support in the first place, right? You don't speak Spanish either.
Anyway, it's time to board. Where are you? I'm coming to get you.
You don't have to come. I'm not going on a trip where I'm the only one who doesn't get to have fun. I'll refund the ticket and go home.
Oh hey, wait a minute. It's our honeymoon.
You ruined our honeymoon. Why don't you just go with your family?
Huh? No one can speak Spanish without you. We'll have a lot of trouble.
Am I in charge of interpreting for the family vacation? I don't want to do that.
That's not what I meant. Hey, calm down. Wait a minute. Let's have another honeymoon separately. Think of it as a family trip to show thanks this time, huh?
Don't try to make me do something I have no intention of doing myself, okay? I'm starting to feel uneasy about getting married to you. Before we got married, I was so excited and looking forward to our honeymoon and newlywed life. Now I feel like I'm at rock bottom.
Rock bottom is a bit of an exaggeration. Don't get all bent out of shape over something as trivial as this. It's almost time to board. We're gonna miss the flight. My mom and dad are worried about you.
Thinking I will be stuck with you for the rest of my life, for your parents' reasons, I realized that marrying you was a mistake. I'm going to start the divorce process.
What? Huh? Wait a minute. I'm on my way over there now, so wait for me.
Thank God I figured you out early on. Let's discuss this in full when you get back from your trip.
This can't be. What reason would there be for a divorce?
You don't get it. Why don't you think about what went wrong during the trip?
If you learned your lesson today, don't ever go near my brother Jeff again. As his sister, I know that you're after his money. I will never allow you to get married, so get the hell out of my brother's life. Or next time, I will pour a bucket of water on you. What kind of attitude is that after you threw water on me? Don't you have any words of apology for me? Huh? Apology? I'm not interested in Jeff's assets. I am dating him because I genuinely love him. We are serious about marriage, so I went to greet you. But the first thing you did was to splash a glass of water on me. That's very terrible. I'm not interested in Jeff's assets, huh? You messed around with a guy 10 years older than you. Do you really think you can fool me with that? What? As a woman, I understand why you're attracted to older men. But it's crazy to decide to marry a man 10 years older than you. It's so obvious that you're after his money. Crazy? That's just your prejudice, Safir. I love him regardless of age. Please, listen to me. It's not worth listening to a woman who's just looking for money. Just get away from my brother at once. No matter what your excuses are, they won't work on me. Oh, no. I hate women like you more than anything in the world. Women who rely on their youth in their 20s. Women like you devalue single women who are almost 30 years old. Don't use your youth as a selling point to fool around with men, you hyena woman. A hyena woman? Yeah, definitely a hyena. You used your youth to get my brother, a company owner, to fall in love with you. Oh, poor my little brother. He fell for this hyena woman's prey. I swear I didn't do that. You know, Jeff has always been a reclusive boy. Without me, he's useless at anything. But then he finally got a girlfriend, and he was thinking of getting married. So, as his sister, I was very happy. But the girl he brought along was 10 years younger than him, and the type of girl I hate. Do you know how disappointed I've been all day? If you say so, I'm the one who's disappointed. Jeff told me that you are a very nice elder sister. But actually, you're so stubborn and full of prejudice. What part of me is stubborn and full of prejudice? From any point of view, it's clear that you want his property. Don't get upset because you are seen through. What part of me is upsetting? That's what I'm talking about, of course. Young girls today get angry as soon as when they hit a sore spot. I can't accept a bitch like you as my brother's partner. A bitch? Even if you're Jeff's sister, I can't stand it anymore. Why should I be told this much? Then I wish you'd hurry up and get out of my brother's sight. Once again, I will never approve of your marriage. I can think of no other reason for a young woman to marry someone 10 years older than her except for his wealth. Stay away from my precious brother, you little bitch. Then I'll call it off. Get the hell out of here. My brother deserves a better woman. I hope so. But with a stubborn sister like you, I don't think he'll ever find a nice woman. Now, if you'll excuse me. And so our engagement is off. Thank you for everything you've done for me. What? Wait a minute. I just heard from my sister too. Are you serious? Of course I'm serious. There's no way I can convince her to approve our marriage. Oh no! Oh, Jeff, I'm just kidding about being serious. I wanted to say something back to her, so I called off the engagement. What? You're kidding? I couldn't forgive her for that behavior after she splashed water on me. I just said I was breaking off the engagement because a blood vessel in my head snapped. Of course I didn't mean it, so please don't worry. It was just a tentative plan to calm her down. A tentative plan? Does that mean you lied about breaking off the engagement? Of course. I don't want to give up on our marriage just because your sister is against it. But people like that would only be satisfied if they get their own way. So, let's just pretend that the engagement is broken off for now and proceed with preparation for marriage in secret. We call it the fill the other mode and breakthrough with hardball strategy. Oh, well, that would mean lying to my sister, wouldn't it? That's true, but I'm sure if everyone else agreed to the marriage, your sister would be reluctant to approve it. I don't know if it worked that way. So you really want to break off the engagement? Then next time, I will propose to you, Jeff. She told me to break it off, but she didn't tell me not to get engaged again. Then you can come to my house when we get married, honey. What? I'm going to your place? I'm just kidding. Anyway, we don't have to go along with this kind of thing honestly. Marriage is about the feelings of the two of us, right? Or do you no longer want to marry me, Jeff? That can't be happening. You are the most important person to me, Michelle. But, well, my sister is also very important to me. If my sister is against it, I can't marry you against her will. What? I'm sorry, Michelle. Let's break off the engagement as you've declared to my sister. You're kidding! Does that mean you're breaking up with me? No, that makes me sad too. So, we are not getting married, but we are not breaking up either. Can't we just continue to go out like we have been? Huh? I've told you several times, so I'm sure you understand. My sister is a very important person to me, someone I respect very much. Ever since I was a little boy, I was weak and timid, but she led me. Thanks to her, I'm who I am today. I know that. I've heard so many stories about your sister that I could hear my ears ringing. She was there for me when I didn't fit in at school. When I said I wanted to start my own business, she supported me more than my parents. She comforted me when I failed in business negotiations. Sometimes she even introduced me to people she knew as clients. I'm really indebted to her. So, you'll cancel your marriage to me as you're told? When you proposed to me, you said you would definitely make me happy. But my sister is so against it. Besides, if a third party says you're just after my money, I'd be a little nervous too. Huh? Does that mean that you also suspect me, Jeff? Do you suspect your girlfriend, your fiancée, of being a money grabber? Because I'm a 36-year-old man. But my first girlfriend is 10 years younger than me, and she's so cute. I've been working on air, but when I think about it calmly, it makes me uneasy. I'm a shy guy, and I have a quiet personality. The only good thing about me is that I'm a business owner with money. No way! You didn't go out with me for money, did you? Then, we don't need to get married, do we? To be honest, marriage is just a relationship on a marriage certificate. Whether we get married or not, people won't be able to tell. What? Are you serious? Of course. I won't get married, as my sister told me. But I'll stay with you forever, Michelle. Isn't this idea of mine insanely genius? You've got to be kidding me! Stop making fun of me! Huh? You're not going to marry me, but you will stay with me forever? How rude do you think you just said to me? I refuse to accept a man with such half-hearted resolve. Michelle? Could it be that you're really angry? I've gone beyond anger, and now I'm appalled. Let's break off this engagement as I've declared, and I will leave you. I never want to see your face again. What? I'm glad you could do as your esteemed sister said. Now, if you'll excuse me. Looks like you guys successfully broke up. You seem to be a reasonable person. Yes, thanks to you, I've learned a lot, Sophia. He's not the right man for me to marry. I'm glad I didn't marry him. Huh? How can you say such a thing in your position? You are the one who is not the right woman for Jeff. Don't get carried away because you failed to marry into a wealthy family. I'm not being carried away. Oh, really? You're probably mad inside that you missed out on the golden opportunity. Huh? A stupid girl like you, whose only merit is her youth, marrying my brother. I'll never allow it while I'm around. This whole thing has shown me that Jeff doesn't have a good eye for women. So, I should support him well as his big sis. Are you telling me that you're planning to find him someone to marry next time? Of course I am. Jeff has been no good without me, you know. But he has a successful company and there are a lot of candidates for his wife. I, his sister, will carefully select the best one for him. A wonderful woman worthy of my proud little brother. But that company is on the verge of bankruptcy, right? What? Who would want to marry the president of such a company? Even if it's not for money or anything like that. I don't think there are many women who would go out of their way to choose a hard life. What do you mean by on the verge of bankruptcy? Oh, but with you, everything will be fine, Sophia. I'm sure you'll find a strong woman who doesn't mind any hardship. It's really amazing that you go through so many trouble for your little brother. Hey, you! Answer my question. What did you mean earlier? Stop blabbing that the company is on the verge of bankruptcy. Oh? I didn't mean to make a joke or tell a lie. That's what I heard from someone who actually still works at the company. They said the atmosphere at the company has been strange since right after I left. That now people are leaving one after another and the company is on the verge of bankruptcy. What? What do you mean, right after you left? Did you work for Jeff's company? Come to think of it, I haven't told you about it yet. I met Jeff at work. I interned at his company, and then I got a job after graduating from college. I was going to tell you about it when I went to meet you, but you splashed water on me and messed everything up. What did you say? I had been interning at his company since I was a sophomore in college. Including that, we worked together for almost 10 years. So, even though I was in my 20s, I was assigned as a project leader. That's how I started dating Jeff, the president of the company. Was that so? But just the other day, we broke off our engagement. That's when I took the plunge and resigned. I didn't even want to see his face anymore. As you said, youth is sometimes a weapon. I thought it'd be better to change jobs as soon as possible, so I resigned right away. But why did that make the company go down? My brother's company was doing well. It's not a company that will be shaken by the loss of just one employee. That's what I thought too. But losing me seems to have done more serious damage to the company than I thought. A bridge between an indecisive president and the employees is a valuable asset. What? A bridge? As his sister, Sophia, you understand, don't you? Jeff has a reclusive personality. To be frank, he's not the type to pull up all the employees. Or, to be more precise, he annoys his subordinates by not being able to decide anything. What? In such a situation, I, as the project leader, bridged between the president and his subordinates. But as soon as I left, I guess they lost their teamwork quickly. That doesn't make any sense. Even so, you're just one employee. There's no way we are on the verge of bankruptcy just because you left. I told you. People are leaving one after another. One person leaving won't do anything to the company. But if dozens of people leave at once, the company will go down the tubes. Dozens of people at once? You mean that many people left all at once? Maybe it's because of our broken engagement. It seems that the rumor has turned into an outrageous story. What? We had announced our engagement internally. It seems everyone was curious about the reason for the breakup of our engagement. I honestly told them that his family was against it because of the age difference. But then they seem to have started a rumor that the president and his family judge people only by their age, and that age determines promotion no matter how well they perform. And it seems to have spread like wildfire. Is that why so many people left the company? It's a relatively new company. It has more employees in their 20s and 30s than in their 40s and 50s. If word gets out that promotions and appraisals are based on age in such a company, they would give up and quit, thinking there is no future in such a company. Oh no! Project leaders like myself, and even people in certain positions, seem to be quitting en masse. It'll make even more people below them quit. Above all, the president, who they should rely on, is as indecisive as ever. He seems to be making the employees even more anxious. Oh no, my Jeff's company is going bankrupt! That's absolutely wrong! And what about my executive compensation? What? Executive compensation? You are director of our company, Sophia? Of course! I work as a mental advisor for my brother. As a board member, I was paid millions every month. Wow, seriously? I didn't know you were running a family business like that. I need you to come back to the company right now and do something about it. Breaking off the engagement and the company are two different things. I won't accept your resignation because you're upset you couldn't get married. Please don't rely on the woman you kicked out. As his sister, you're the one who has to deal with the company's financial crisis. You've always pulled him along since he was little, haven't you? With a sister like that, I'm sure the company will be fine. That's not what I'm talking about! The company is on the verge of bankruptcy! I don't know what to do! I don't know even less now that I'm retired. Well, I'll leave you to it then. Please, Michelle! Please come back to me! I finally understand how important you are. Huh? I'm sorry I let go of you without saying anything back then. I'm sorry I canceled marrying you because of my sister. But I finally understand. I need you in my private and public life. It's too late for you to apologize now. If you're talking about the company's business crisis, I've heard about it too. Please do your best with your respectable sister. Don't be so cold. My sister seems to have cooled off. She says she approves of our marriage. You can still be my wife now. Huh? We've only been broken up for a few weeks. Don't tell me you don't love me anymore. I still love you, and I want you to work with me again. So please, will you come back to me? When you come back, I'll give you the position of wife and vice president. I'm sorry, I have a new job and a boyfriend. What? You have a new job and a boyfriend? I can understand the job, but you're saying you already have a next man? Of course, because I am a young 20-something. I don't intend to use my youth as a weapon, but I have a lot of encounters and invitations. Oh no! Thanks to my past experiences, I was able to change my job with great success. I'm about to make almost 10 million a year in my 20s. Moreover, my new boyfriend is very understanding and kind towards my work. I'm so happy right now. Wait a minute. That's way too much of a switch too soon. You have to switch what's done, otherwise it's a waste of time. So, please don't contact me anymore, 'cause I'm done with you. You're not my boss or my fiancé now. Oh no! Well, I'll take my leave now. Please give my regards to your sister. I heard through a former colleague that Jeff's company went bankrupt. In the end, more than half of the employees resigned, and the board member, Sophia, said, "I'll start another business now. My gut is telling me that this genre of business will hit the mark," and forced the company to change direction. Of course, Jeff did as he was told, but all of their new businesses failed miserably. Finally, the company went bankrupt with a large amount of debt. Now the siblings are engaged in a bloody quarrel over the repayment of the debt. Where has the good friendship they had since childhood gone? Now they push each other to take responsibility for their actions, sometimes fighting to the point of police action.